Are you prepared if they ask you a question, a very simple question, like, what do you like about our company?
Take control of your career and compensation right now. It's your 5-minute career hack.
What's up, hackers? Welcome back to another episode of our special series here at the 5-Minute Career Hack. And like I'm going to continue to say each time I do this, there are 3 pathways to learning. That's education, experience, and exposure. And I always throw that 4th bonus E in there, empowerment. And today we have a special guest who is filled with all of these elements. It's kind of like Earth, Wind, and Fire over here next to me, but he's ready to share power and insight that's going to help you in your career journey. Now, remember, at 5-Minute Career Hack, we're about that no fluff, all action. So you know you're already in for a treat and you're going to have some to-dos. But before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the weekly videos that we share every week. So now let's get into a little bit of the juicy stuff. We're going to be talking about job interviews today, and we want to help you nail it like a pro. The partnership with this gentleman you see here started at the Diversity Equity Chamber Alliance, DECA. We saw each other at an event where we had this great conversation that one could probably call an interview. And now we are together sharing alongside each other in partnership. So as you know, an interview is a conversation. We're going to teach you some ways to have that conversation in the best way possible, just like we did. So grab your pen and paper, get ready to take some notes in the comment section because we want to hear from you. Let us know what resonated. What was your unlock? And if you're feeling extra spicy today, leave us some emojis and tell us how you feel about what you learned because you're going to be inspired and you're going to want to take action. So without further ado, I want you to meet Mike. Mike Trevino is an account manager in Austin. He graduated from Ohio State, which provided him with a strong foundation for his career. Mike's journey began in the field of corporate recruitment, where he helped top talent and connected them with suitable positions. Before his transition into recruitment, Mike owned and operated a gymnastics, dance, and cheer gym for an impressive 17 years. He says a whole lifespan, right? Mike is excited to bring his experience here to Higher Up Staffing, where we are in their office today. And he is so passionate about matching candidates to opportunities that align with their career goals. Welcome to our podcast. We are so happy to have you today.
Oh, Candyce, it's great to be here. Great to meet you.
Yes.
That was, one of those things where it was supposed to happen. So, I can tell you this journey is ongoing. It's never ending. It's something that, you take parts of you and you want to really use every part of your lifespan to get to be better every day. And working on just little things are going to be some things hopefully we can share and people can take home and, really make some connections, not only with Higher Up, but also 5-Minute Career Hack, because, we are vital. We're information that is at click away, just like you said. So, I'm really excited.
Me too. You already dropping gems. Mike is already dropping gems, and I'm gonna make sure I save my responses for inside the episode. But Mike, great intro I gave there that gave us so much color into you and your career and your passions. But just dig a little deeper for me. Tell me more about your career journey, the things that I didn't read on the paper. Tell me more about you and your career journey.
Yeah. So, everything you read was absolutely true. I think some of the things that we don't think about are, being kind of that force in this world. And throughout my whole career, you can see I've done so many different things. But the one thing that is the thing that holds it true is your passion. What are you passionate about? You should wake up with some passion. You should have, I think even a better word is purpose. Like have your purpose written down, know it in your mind so that when you wake up, you know what you're going to do. So Absolutely. I think I've been able to do that in many different industries. So people who are looking for jobs who might be, worried if they're a good fit or not, I'd say, go for it.
Oh, wow. And before I have you, that was so profound. Before I have you talk more about Higher Up Staffing, because what Mike does, and you can definitely correct me if I'm wrong and keep me honest, but you're helping connect people to jobs and companies to people who need work, right? And it's so important because this is such a critical service that people, when they're going and doing job seeking and finding their dream job, that they feel connected to purpose, or that's going to lead to what companies don't want, which is turnover, because folks are going to realize they're not in their purpose. Just dive just a little deep for me and tell me, like, if you're working with a client and you're trying to connect them, make sure that this is going to be sustainable. They're going to stay with the company. The relationship continues. What are some things that you do, or some insight you want to share about choosing a job that allows you to be within your purpose?
Yeah, I think, that's great. Thanks for that. But just a little bit about what we're doing. If you're a job seeker, if you're an employer, you're trying to find that opportunity and that perfect fit, higher up's definitely your go-to source, because we're not only trying to place people into positions, we're really trying to find that perfect match. So what that means is we understand the uniqueness from everyone that's involved. So employers are happy, candidates are happy, going through that whole interview process. And it is a process, and it does take time. So I think, with higher up and 5-minute hack, I mean, there's some resources that really can get you prepared. You can ask questions and we'll be able to provide answers, right?
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. So, we're talking today because I want to make sure we get right to the sauce, because we promised you were going to get notes. So let's talk about interviewing, because candidate connects to agency, company connects to agency. We have to win the job interview so we can make sure that connection lands, right? So talk just a little bit about what are some common themes and trends that you see and hacks that you can provide in terms of being confident in the interview or winning that interview. And I gave you a little keyword of something that we definitely want to make sure you walk away with is confidence. But just talk to us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, today's job market is unlike anything we've experienced. And so there's people that are cautious about working with, and even hiring individuals, because they're putting their money where their mouth is a great way to say that. So they really want someone who's going to be able to come on board, be a professional, be a independent thinker, but being able to work as a team. And those are really what we're finding out, that if employers don't see that in the first interview, they're going to pass on you. So that's hard news to hear. But the good news is you can be prepared. You can get yourself ready. You can really, I think we talked about confidence a lot, but the little step right before that is being mindful about what you're going to say. What are your answers? Are you prepared? If they ask you a question, a very simple question, like, what do you like about our company? You should have an answer.
Yeah. How do they get that answer, Mike? I know the answer to this question, but share with for those who, because to your point, you said that confidence, that step before, you don't get confidence unless you are well informed.
Yes.
And you've tried to figure out, at least try to figure out the answer to the question.
Yeah.
But so, practice is what I heard there as well.
Exactly. But
what is that when you're counseling and coaching a client? How should they approach that next step, and maybe a pro tip that they can have on like how to answer that question effectively?
Yeah.
Even if they just researched the company yesterday, like what are some key things they need to be looking for right away so they can be able to answer that question effectively?
Yeah. So I think the big thing is you take away something from what you've read and you've researched, and you find what you like about it. And you mention that because that's going to be something that connects you to. The other thing about the interview is really having concise answers. Sometimes people go on too long. Sometimes it's just a yes or no. I approach this like the first date, or do you want to go on the second date? That's what you have to ask yourself. So in order to do that, it's kind of like what we're doing. We're communicating, we're sharing our thoughts in a very kind of professional way, but for the interview process and the people who do get nervous and the people who don't know what to say, grab your camera, grab your phone, record yourself, and then go back and watch it and see if you liked it first. Because if you know there are things you can do, that's going to propel you on the way to feeling better once that interview comes up.
Imagine a world where recruiters come knocking at your virtual door, eager to hire you for your dream job. This can be you with 5-Minute Career Hack's exclusive LinkedIn hacking package. Over 90% of recruiters rely on this platform to make hiring decisions. And guess what else? 75% of people hired last year were discovered right here on LinkedIn. But we get it. You're busy, overwhelmed, and just struggling to find the time to optimize your profile. Let us do the work for you. For a limited time only, sign up today and we can help you break through your career on LinkedIn.
No, I love that. You said a couple of things. So research, and then Mike said, find something that you like about it. And then that second point that stood out to me was just being clear and concise, right? You got to be concise, because if you go on, then you're going to lose the interviewer's attention. And it brings me to something that I think we've talked about, being clear on the objectives and what the goals are for the interview. You just actually hit on it, and I didn't even expect it. But there's a couple of main goals that you have with the interviewer. And Mike, you can chime in and add to it or say, I don't agree.
Yeah, I want to hear what you say.
One is you need them to like you. You need them to like you. Yep. So this is great dialogue. So one of the goals is they have to like you. If you're going to go work in a environment with them, they have to like you enough in that interview to want to bring you on. And the second one is they have to be confident that you can do the job, right? So if you're going on and on in the interview and they realize that your communication skills are not concise, then if you're in a job where it requires you to communicate effectively and you can't do that in the interview, then they're not going to be confident in your ability to do the job. But I'm interested in your thoughts on them liking you, because you want, and the reason I said that, and definitely, I love that. I like opposition too.
I just want to turn it just a little bit.
I love it. I love it.
You know, it is a word like, like, but for example, I like Candyce. Candyce likes me, and we're doing a podcast together. That's great. When you're in a job and you're going for the interview, they need to like your professionalism.
That's true.
We're not friends. We're going to be working together. So being able to distinguish, friends and work, I think is so key in an interview, because, yes, you want them to like you. Yes. I mean, everyone wants people to like them, right? I want people to like me, and give me millions of followers, but it's not my goal. What I want to do, though, is really get people to feel comfortable about interviewing, about being prepared, about having resources, again, like you're seeing right here, and tapping into them. I think that's something that most people don't really do. They have it, but we're here to answer questions. We're here to help you along your journey. We're going to do those things that we can do. We both do the careers. So that's kind of how we connected. But in your job, in your industry, if you're an engineer, you speak engineering. If you're a software engineer, you know all of the codes. If you are a marketing director, you understand how community and other resources are important to that marketing campaign, because that's who you're trying to reach. So thinking about companies, thinking about their reputation, having a great pool of knowledge that you could pull from. I like that, you guys are entrepreneurs, but you also give back to the community. Absolutely. If you're looking for something like that, I definitely mention that. And the company does it. Tell them you like it. Tell them that's something that really interests you.
No, that's so perfect. Connecting to, when you want them to like your professionalism. I think that's an excellent I think we're saying the same thing, but the way you said it, it sounds, it's exactly what needs to resonate with those of you who are listening. Because I even heard it when you said you find something about that company you like.
Yes.
And when you like something, that comes across in your energy. So when you're in the interview, you've already found that connection point during your research process.
Right.
And now it carries forward in the conversation that you have in the interview.
With confidence.
With confidence. Yes. No, that's exactly it. That's exactly it.
It's a hard thing to do, but you got to practice.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's like you talked about my career. I mean, so many people practicing so many things in the athletic, realm. Repetition. They got better. They, persevered and hopefully met their goals. Same thing here.
Absolutely.
Practice.
Yes. Practice. So I think there's a couple of prototypes, or we talked about a couple of prototypes that, we may have different prototypes of audiences that are listening to this. There may be people who are career interviewers. Yep. And then we may have that person that has not interviewed in 15 years because they've been loyal to their job for the last 15 years. Yeah. And they haven't interviewed. So I know practice is what you talked about, but if I was that client who hadn't been on an interview in 20 years and I walked into this amazing office and was like, I'm ready for I need a different job, but I haven't been on an interview. I'm nervous. Where are you starting with them? What does that look like? Because I know somebody watching is in that position. I actually hear it probably daily. Yeah. And I want to make sure we touch on that.
Yeah, we get a lot of those too. And, someone who's been at a job for 15 years, they're a rare breed. I mean, that's something that is what actual employers are looking for. So, we're talking about being somewhere for a certain amount of time so that your resume actually comes and looks like you're able to work with different people. And so being able to communicate that like we're talking about is going to come with that last little key we were talking about, the confidence. You're confident in what you research. You're confident in practicing some of the questions that they might answer. And then that confidence comes out in the interview because you've really done all you needed to do for that one role and going through the research, finding out what you like, finding about the company, someone who has not interviewed in a number of years. It's being mindful. What do you want? We can change careers. We can step into industry that you might not have done. Guilty. And it works, but you have to be able to understand how your skill set transfers into other industries, other companies, how they all kind of do the same body of work.
No, that's perfect. And the part about how your skill sets transfer, so those transferable skills, you may be going into another industry or another job that uses different reporting, uses different systems, it's just not, you look at the job description and you're like, do I really do this or do I have this? And then again, you add on top of that, they haven't interviewed in a very long time. So how do you all here at Higher Up get people to understand or even can articulate with confidence those transferable skills that will make them qualified for positions that they're walking into or that they're interviewing for?
Yeah, I think that's such a great question. So I was working with a marketing director who had been at a job since 2019. So for me, that's a long time.
Yeah.
She had on her resume everything that generally fit what it was, what that role is. And then because we see so many resumes, we talk to so many people, one of the things Higher Up does is, again, matching those skills to some of our clients who are actually going to be employers for these individuals. So I like hard truths. I like to, really give some feedback that people can really take and decide if they want to do it or not. So I can tell you what to do, but, there's some work that you'll have to do too. So sometimes I send them after our conversation with homework. So back to this young lady, general marketing things. One of the things I asked her to include that some people don't have in their resume: what programs did you use? What video software did you use? What are you doing? SAPs, ERPs? Every industry has those certain tools that they're using. So what that does for them, if they decide to change it or not, is become more competitive in the market. Someone's looking at your resume. It's general. I've got to talk to this person, find out if they even utilize any of the tools we're trying to get for this role. Or I get a resume that has every single thing that we use, and I'm interested in reading more. That's the employer's mindset.
Gotcha. So the employer's mindset is that they're looking at the resume and they're trying to match it. Obviously, and it's not even just the employer; it's also the AI tools that are coming.
Yes,
that might be an entirely different podcast.
That's gonna be a hack.
We might have to come back for part 2 to talk about beating the bot, as my co-founder Alicia says. How do you beat the bot? But they may be looking for a one-to-one match on the skills and the systems that they require for the job. And you, as a listener or as an interviewee, may not be 100% familiar with that exact system or that exact program or that exact qualification, but maybe you have something that can translate. And that has to be it has to be understood on the resume and clearly dissected and articulated in the interview.
Exactly.
So let's just say it's HR systems. I'll use that as an example. If it's, well, you got all this experience, this requires Workday, but I use something that was similar to Workday that shows that I can do this job even if I don't have Workday experience, but I'm going to show you how I learn and how I apply this skill, or how I, how I applied this skill and what I've learned. That was my kind of entry into this. Share more around communicating those transferable skills and your ability to learn quickly. How would the person who's listening to this?
All right, higher up tip.
There we go.
We are not going to say, I work hard and I can learn real quick. We've been saying that for, you remember that saying, right?
It's like being dependable. I don't care.
Yeah. So here's a great thing. I use program ABC, but in doing my research into your company, I understood that you use XYZ, and I'm familiar with them both, and I feel that the two are almost identical. So it would take me a week or two, and I'd be proficient. Easy, to the point. Was there a little bit of confidence?
No, that was the easy 1, 2, 3 step right there. So you confident saying what you know.
Yeah.
You did your research. You can communicate what you know about them. So that's that connection. And then you basically close the bag for them.
Yeah.
You close the bag for them.
Yeah, you do.
And tell them that, hey, I'm confident that I can, with my knowledge, I can learn your system and we can achieve XYZ goal. I think that's a perfect formula.
And does it sound different than I'm a quick learner?
Oh, it sounds much more sophisticated, number one. It shows that you can you're a great communicator, which is, unless you're just behind a computer, never have to talk on the phone, like that's a skill you need. But it shows that you know how to make a connection. I may be missing some, but what other things that do you guys coach on at that type of example would
So I think, we at Higher Up, we work with candidates, obviously, but we're also on the employer side. So a lot of times employers handle hiring differently. So with our company, we understand that uniqueness and that like detail that they're looking for. And so we really try to deliver that perfect fit. We talked about that a little bit. So while we're interviewing candidates for potential clients, we're also seeing if they're checking off all of those boxes.
Gotcha.
And then the best thing about resources, right, is we actually give you things to help you improve your resume before we send it, so that we're doing exactly what this role is requiring. And we're delivering it to our clients who understand that there's a uniqueness, there's a personality, there is a knowledge that they might want. So being able to bring those employers into the picture, I think, is important. But then again, building that trust with them, that the people you're going to interview with, you know, have the knowledge, understand what's before them. And then you go into the interview, if one of our candidates go into the interview and they just kill it, because we're giving them resources. We're giving them ideas on how to really be yourself, how to explain yourself, how, you know, I don't want people to be like me. You're the one Candyce with the Y that I've met. So
I am. I'm sure there's more Candyces with a Y, but I know I'm the first one you've met, but it's very rare. And that's something that makes me, it makes me stand out. It's a distinct quality of mine, is the way my name is spelled.
And use it to your advantage. Yeah,
absolutely.
And for, you know, just other little tips, you know, there's so many things that, you know, we'll be able to help you with. Candyce is going to be able to help you with. I think it's one of the reasons we wanted to get together, because the job market's tough. And
it's always changing. It's always changing. You need us.
Yeah, you do. And we're here for you.
Yes, absolutely. And we'll end with, this is definitely just part one, because I could do first of all, I love your energy and I could just talk to you all day long. I think that's why we connected when we did. But I think there's so much more that we can continue to share that would lead people to their dream job in their purpose, like you talked about. Yeah. And then also using, which is the last point, your resources properly. Yeah. You've got 2 resources standing right here in front of this camera, on this podcast, in your car, in the shower, in the kitchen, while you're cooking, wherever you're listening from. You've got resources right here, to Mike's point of 5-minute career hack, so many ways. You can turn on a podcast. If I could think back and point you directly to episode 1 and episode 17, you got 5 tips right there on just 2 episodes on winning the interview.
So true.
One called applying an interview and one how to effectively answer questions. And then we heard from Mike today so profoundly. He shared just a couple of tips that for me, no one was giving me this type of information when I first started out. Or every time I wasn't getting this type of information. We had to go through and experience some things in order to be able
lots of no's.
Yes, lots of no's to get here. So you got 2 resources. You got Higher Up Staffing Services. We're in the Austin office.
Yes.
They've been so awesome today. But you got a resource right here with Higher Up Staffing, and you got 5-minute career hack podcasts and all the other services that we offer, where you don't have to go into these interviews without confidence.
And I think just to add one little thing is that because I'm not hiring you and Candyce is not hiring you, there is that truth, direct, to the point answers that some people don't like. But if you want to progress in your career, you want to explore different industries, we can help you.
Yeah. That's why we're called 5-minute career hack. No fluff, all action, because we've done the whole, let me, you know, how you feel. No, we want to give it to you in a way that you can digest and go out and take action right away.
That's what I love about.
Yes, you are fitting right here in that mantra with us. No fluff, all action, because we want to actually help you win and get there faster than we did. Right?
Yes.
So, Mike, it has been such a pleasure.
It's amazing.
It has been such a pleasure today to talk to you. I'm so excited about this partnership between Higher Up and 5-minute career hack. I think we are going to do great things for both of our clients, for our communities, and for employers that we work with who are looking for talent that's within our network. I think I could just, my mind has been going even while we're talking of different ways that we can continue. So you'll hear more about that from us. You'll see all the details of how to get in touch with Higher Up, how to get in touch with Mike Trevino, and use us as a resource. And more to come on that. You're going to be surprised. More to come on how we partner and how we can help you, again, land your dream job. Mike, any final words before I turn it back over to our producers?
Yeah. So, just one thing, that we provide that it's kind of a thing to say, but again, we're getting deep, right? We're going deep. Sometimes people just like to do it by themselves. And then they wonder while they're in that little circle of, I keep interviewing and no one's asking and no one's, we're actually putting the action forward to reach out to us so that we can get you in the right direction. And now it's trying to change some of the things you've been doing.
That's good.
Work into something else, see how it works, take it or leave it. I can deal with it. You can deal with it too.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
And you hit it. Like we want to prove our sometimes independence or our pride may stop us from asking for help. I talk about this all the time, but Jamila Brown will always tell us we were not on this earth. We are not meant to be on this earth to do things alone. And using your resources, asking for help, reaching out to companies that can support you is just is so just necessary, for the lack of a better word. So I appreciate you sharing that. It has been such a pleasure, like I said.
A wonderful
Yes,
day.
and I can't wait.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, thanks for having me as well. This is the first 5-minute career hack hug. Usually we are virtual, so
I know.
we gave you all our first in-person interview. I'm here live at the Hire Up Staffing Agency. Mike, Trevino, and the Hire Up team, we appreciate you. And remember, share this with someone. If there's at least one hack I know there's at least one hack that you got today that you can share, please do so. Share this 5-minute career hack podcast. Share the services with your friends, because we want you to be in your career purpose, not just your dream job, in your career purpose. And I think that you got 2 gurus right here. 4, we add my business partners, right? 4 gurus
and
that are
4 more in
committed.
my office.
Boom. So you got a team of people that are committed to helping you do that. I love y'all, and be well.
Now, the 5-minute career hack, we call this hacking. Look at you. You just did it. And you don't have to stop here. Take one step every week and ensure that you are pouring into you and getting closer to your career goals. Yep. You see that button down there? Hit subscribe, but don't stop there, because you know what they say, sharing is caring. So take 5 and we'll see you next week.